They keep me young and sprite. Dad, I need these sneakers. Dad, I need this. Dad, I need that.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I have no time to feel so stressed out about myself.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't clap no more? Oh, so that was the clap?
That was the clap.
All right, hold on. Let me
It's just easier when it's over there. So
Come on, Pirate, get your shit together, man.
I know I'm so used to it. See, it threw me off. Anyway, let me start this. Como va, and welcome to the season and episode of TheSuperPpodcast, episode 40. It is I, Polo Parata, back with a returning Jay Flatbush
What's good?
and a guest that I wanted on the show for so long. She evaded me for so long, but I finally captured her, and she's here. Miss Texanna Watts.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
She is a creative director, a fashion stylist, wardrobe supervisor, product placement, and refurbisher.
Yes.
She has a lot of hats, and I had to read that off the phone because I wasn't going to remember half of those things. So anyway, how you doing, Tex?
I'm well, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Well, see, Jay has taken some time off,
Okay.
so he's back.
Yeah, I had to take a little bit of time off. So for those that don't know, I recently started a new gig about 2 months ago as vice president of people for a international ad tech company.
Nice.
And if you know me, you know this, right?
Yeah.
When I start something,
He gets like
I'm
razor focused.
I'm singularly
Yeah,
focused,
razor
right? So I
focused.
need to know every single thing about everything,
Right.
and it takes up all my time.
Mhm.
So I couldn't be successful doing that, starting that, and then dedicate the time that's needed for this. So I needed to take a little bit of time off, but now I'm coming up for air, and feels good to be back, man.
Yeah, well, I told him he was always welcome back. I didn't
Yeah.
fire him.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
man, nah.
I didn't fire him. I just told him that when I told him,
We
and this
good
is the
for
truth.
that,
I said,
yeah.
whenever you're ready, come back. I told you that.
Yeah. I needed to shift my focus appropriately to this new gig and give them, the time that's needed for me to get up to speed and learn the company, because I've been in advertising and media my whole career.
Mhm.
Ad tech is a different beast.
Mhm.
So I really needed to learn the business model, get to know the key stakeholders, and we got offices they're based out of New Zealand.
Right.
So we got offices in New Zealand, Singapore, Vietnam, United States, and we're trying to open up offices in South America.
Right.
And you have key stakeholders all over the globe. So like now, like I had to put like the world clock widget on my computer because I need to know what time it is in New Zealand, what time it is in Vietnam and London, and it's just all over the place. So I'm on calls from the moment I get up to the 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. It's been wild, but it's been fun work, man. It's been a change, something I wanted to do. I wanted to switch it up. I didn't want to pigeonhole myself into advertising.
Yeah, you were saying that. When
Yeah,
we were talking about that.
When you work for like 4 or 5 ad agencies and then, working for a media company like Complex and stuff like that, like you get pigeonholed, and I wanted to break out of that mold and try something different. And this was an amazing opportunity. So I had to jump on it, and it's been cool, man. It's cool. And you know what? Because most of the leadership is in New Zealand, right? So it's like, they got them cool Kiwi accents, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's so chilled and laid back. Like it's like talking to Chris Helmsworth for 12 hours a day. You know what I mean? It's dope, man. I can't
The
complain.
accent is calming, right?
It's very common, and that like just culturally, everybody's like, it's such a stark difference because you work in ad agencies. Everybody is like on 100 every day. Everybody is like stressed out, and over here it's like, yeah, mate, yeah, no problem. Yeah,
You don't almost feel crazy if all of a sudden you just have this fit because they're so calm. and
Everybody's so
relaxed.
calm, and it moves at such a slower pace, and that's kind of what I need in my life now anyway. So I'm loving it, man. Loving
So
it.
like you and Tex are kind of similar because you guys wear so many different hats.
Yeah.
Like he was he was HR, like basically telling them like, yo, I'm looking for people to hire people and stuff like that. And then I think he was doing other different things.
I've done
for the
HR.
company.
I've done operations. I've been an entrepreneur. I started my own company, a daycare chain in Staten Island. I also do investing. Like I do IT.
We're
I do
gonna
a
talk
lot
about that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're
coming for you.
Yeah, I got some words for Elon Musk.
Well, it's so funny that, you're talking about, because I used to tell my interns, I used to be fashion director at BET, started as wardrobe supervisor, and I used to tell them all the time, you need to have something to fall back on. Like, it's great. Listen, being a stylist is great. It's fabulous. You can make a lot of money. Nowhere near what it was when I first started, but you need to have something to fall back on. And it should be something that you really love to do. So that's why it's always been easy for me to do a transition between being an executive / personal assistant and being a creative director.
Right.
And, because I love doing both. And, I come from that old school thing, like, our parents saying, take the civil service test, take this, take all these different tests to do all these different things to make sure you can still survive when you get older, So it's that mindset.
So you started as a stylist?
No, I actually I went to FIT, like, real fashion background, FIT.
Right.
Went there and did retail, all the retail stores, Macy's. I grew up on Long Island, so you like Macy's. And then my first retail gig in the city was this Japanese company called Itoken Plaza. It used to be on Madison and 52nd Street. And then I just went from there. And then I started doing the whole garment district thing, where starting as a receptionist for like $199 a week. And working my way up. I've done receptionist, I've done sweaters, I've done production, I've done design, you name it, I've done it.
Right. So then you was doing all that, and how did you how did you get into like the hip hop, the music part of designing
My
styling?
best friend and I, we wanted to style. She kept talking, we need to style, we need to be stylists. I was good friends with Eric Sermon, EPMD, and like we were like trying to get to him, and he was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Kind of like he was with it, he was down with it, but he was kind of like, I don't know what you're talking about. It was always kind of like that kind of thing. Because like I said, I grew up on Long Island, so that whole styling thing was like, can't make any money dressing people. And I was good friends with Sister Soldier's husband, Michael. They were good friends with Lauryn Hill. And he knew I wanted to style. And the Fugees had shot the video Killing Me Softly, but it came out too dark. So they wanted to reshoot it. They hired him to do it. He hired me as his assistant.
Oh, okay.
Probably about a day or two before the video, he's like, yo, I can't do it. You're going to have to do it by yourself. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
oh, really? Okay. And the guy that I was dating at the time, I hired him as my assistant. And we went and we shot this Killing Me Softly video. I called people getting clothes, Tommy Hilfiger, Todd Oldham. They told me, whatever you want, whatever you need, we got you.
Right.
And yeah, that was my first video.
Amazing.
No,
So you got thrown right into
I
the
got
fire.
thrown right into the fire.
And that's like a classic video, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look at it now and I crack up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you look at it, what do you think when you look at it now?
Damn, girl, you didn't know what the hell you were doing. But you know what? It worked out because it was kind of a situation where the Fugees weren't as, of course, nowhere near as hot as they became, but it was kind of like I was new. They weren't new, but it was, I have to be honest, there was definitely some hesitation on designers' parts about loaning us clothing because it was like the Fugees. It was like, who the fuck is Texanna? It was kind of that kind of thing.
Yeah, especially during that time, because I remember the Fugees was like, that was like the time of Wu-Tang, and like everything was much more hardcore, and the Fugees were seen as almost like alternative hip-hop.
Yeah. They were like Fuji La, and they were dope. And they were really, really dope. And I remember we were going to LA, got a call. They wanted me to do their PR stuff in LA. And I remember Andy Hilfiger said to me, when you get to LA, you're going to have boxes and boxes in your room, whatever you need. A lot of the other designers, a lot of the urban designers at the time, they wouldn't loan to us. They would not loan to us because they didn't know who I was. I get it. And they, was like, eh. And then when that cover of Rolling Stone came out, and they had on Gucci and Todd Oldham and all, you know what? I got so much shit from that. And I had to say to these people, who shall remain unnamed, but remember, you didn't want to loan to me. Andy said, whatever you need. Todd Oldham said, whatever you need. When I got to LA, I barely could get to my bed. That's how many boxes of Hilfiger I had in that room. Because they looked out. And then it was like, oh, all of a sudden. But it was like, okay, let's get this popping.
So then afterwards, it was like everybody wanted to loan to you, right?
Exactly.
Everybody was like, oh, just call me.
Exactly.
You was getting cards and everything, right?
Exactly.
Phone calls, texts.
Exactly. And it was it was a little disappointing because it was like, but then like I said, it all popped off and it all worked itself out. And it's been a good run. I've had a good career. I really have.
How did you link up with Carl Banks? Guys?
Wow. Yes. So Carl, my brother, worked in the NFL. He started as an intern for the New York Jets. So he and Carl were friends. And I met Carl through him. So we were friends all this time. And then when I left BET, I was kind of like freelancing here and there, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And Carl's girlfriend at the time was like, yo, Tex is looking for a gig. Why don't you let her come in as your assistant? Because Carl and I had been friends for so long. Right. Carl was kind of like, I don't know about that one. Tex in that mouth. And she was like, no, I'm telling you to be fine. And that was 8 years ago. Like July 8th, I think it was our 8-year anniversary.
Wow.
So that was 8 years ago. And we click, it works, because I'm not that regular assistant. You know what I mean? We use the term assistant. I keep telling we got to find a better word. But it clicks, it works because I utilize him and he utilizes me because I've got all these amazing contacts, these great, for product placement, for seating, film, music, and, just the whole entertainment world. So it really clicks for us. And Starter is a great brand. I'm sorry, he owns a license for Starter. Yeah. Iconics owns Starter itself, but he owns a license for it, and he also owns all of the sports license for the leagues, nice. Baseball, basketball, football, nice. All of that. So it all...
Bong, bong, as they say.
So it all clicks. But yeah, so we've known each other over 25 years. He trusts me. I trust him. So it works. It works. And and I'm allowed the freedom to work with other brands. This one, they keep me busy, but I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, because I've seen you promoted a couple of other brands.
Yeah.
You showed me a jacket from I forgot that brand.
Was it Rough Civilian?
There you go.
Yes,
that
Rough Civilian.
Was hard. You showed me a jacket. It was a one-on-one.
Yes. Rough Civilian is dope. So Rough Civilian it's basically one-offs. They do it. I do it. I'm always ripping some sleeves off, cutting something, dyeing something. Right now, I probably have about 6 pieces that I'm doing it, and they're hanging up. I live in a duplex, so they're all hanging up, going up the steps and in the hallway. I'm always. Right. But yeah, Rough Civilian is really, really. I love that brand. I love that.
No,
brand.
I love it too. Yeah. You showed me that jacket. I'm like, what? You sending that to me?
Yeah. I got to send you guys some stuff up here. I was talking to him and telling him that I was coming up here. I was like, yeah, we got to get some stuff up here for you guys.
Awesome.
You guys need some one-off pieces.
Yeah. So, and when I met you, it was with Carl was doing an interview with my friend Mikey. Remember Mike?
Mikey likes it. Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Cole.
Yes, shout out to Mikey.
He was doing an interview with him.
Southern Hospitality.
Yep. And you were sitting there with your son. And he was doing the interview in the store.
Yes.
The home store is not open anymore, but that's when he did the show. Yeah. That's when I first met you.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And you gave me a card.
Yes.
And you were like, yeah, because I was trying to.
And you never forgot me.
Nope. No,
you never forgot me. He was on me like text.
Yeah, because I think for my old show, I used to do an old show. I was trying to get Carl on my old show.
We need to make that happen.
So he definitely.
New season.
Definitely new season.
Yeah, new season. We will make that happen.
Get Brother Carl on here.
We will make that happen. Doubt. New season.
But so then that's how me and Tex got together, and then, like she said, Starter is a great brand. And she'll make sure I'm laced with the good Starter stuff.
Yeah, man.
And
you guys are family. I gotta take care of you guys.
I remember getting robbed for my Starter jacket back in the day.
You know what? That's who everybody always has a robbery story about their Starter jacket.
Starter was
right on Newkirk Avenue Q train station.
I was about to say in Brooklyn.
Some Latin Kings took off my Starter Dallas Cowboys jacket.
Yo, it's always the Cowboys or the Yankees. People tell
Or
stories.
the Hornets.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yours was. Oh,
That
I'm
Hornets
sorry.
jacket is
Yours was
iconic.
Hornets, right?
Yeah, you know that starter Cowboys jacket is like you can't even find that no more.
Oh yeah,
That-
I can't find it either.
It's
Somebody
vintage.
took it
You
off
can find
of
on
me.
eBay. Though.
Let me tell you something.
You can find on eBay, but I'm just saying, like it's like $200-300.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That Cowboys jacket. Cowboys is
Because
always.
it's satin.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the
Bananas.
one team that if we sell out, that's what, like, I have to tell people all the time. I'm the warehouse. I don't have it because we make for them and they buy everything and their stuff sells out. And
Yeah.
Cowboys, huge.
Yeah, because I'm a
huge.
Cowboys fan. So
That's what I was about to ask you. Are you a Cowboys
yeah, I'm a
fan?
Cowboys fan.
The funny thing is, I
got
hate the
something for
Cowboys
you.
with a
I got something
passion.
see,
I didn't want to walk. I didn't want to walk into a New York podcast with a Cowboys jacket.
I'm a Cowboys fan first and
I'm a
foremost.
49er fan. He a
Are
Cow-
you?
Yeah. And he a
Okay,
Cowboys
all right,
fan.
that's good to know. Okay.
But yeah, like the starter stuff, man. Because even my boys from LA, man, they have stories about
Yeah.
when starter and
Yes.
getting robbed for
Oh,
starter.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, certain colors you couldn't wear. You know what I'm saying? Like real, true life stories. Tech. So that's what I'm saying. Starter has like you said, has a rich history. You know, and it's dope that you actually, you got your hands all in it, like involved.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little about. You was also at BET.
Yes, I started there. I'm glad you don't ask me years because I never remember years. with
Me
people.
neither.
I never remember
Listen, I can't
years.
remember how old I am most of the time. So
I try to forget how old I
you know
am.
what I'm saying? Like, people try to remind me, but I be like, nah. I stopped counting at like
Age
30.
is in your heart.
Yeah, it
You know what
is.
I mean?
It is. Yeah, that's my thing too. This morning, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to stop telling people how old I am. I think I'm just going to roll
really
with
forget.
it.
Like people are telling me, and I tell them the wrong age. I just don't remember. I don't want to sit there and do the math. So I'm
Right.
like, I just shout a number
When I
out.
was 20, I acted like I was 40, and now I'm 40, and I act like I'm 20.
Right,
They be
right.
like, how old are you? I'm like 35.
Right.
Sounds good to me. I feel like 35.
Exactly. Sounds
So then
good.
it's 35.
Exactly.
There you go.
Wait, I'm not doing the math for you.
So
Yeah.
I started at BET as a wardrobe supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went in as a stylist. I didn't last very long.
Mm-hmm.
Probably maybe like 2 weeks, if that. And then I left. And then the fashion director at the time, she asked me would I come back. And the money wasn't great, but at that time for me it was, okay, money's not great. Give me a title. Wardrobe supervisor. Because I knew with that, I could work that. I can
Go
manipulate
anywhere.
that
Yeah,
anywhere.
you use that.
And so I was there, and then when she left, I kind of rolled into the position of fashion director, which was great. That was with Terrence and Roxy. And then when they started having the new kids come in and everything else, I was like on that tail end. I think I left in 2013. I think they were done, maybe 3 or 4 years later?
Yeah.
That was BT was good because taking their reputation out of it, like it's always a situation where you need to go in and take from it what you can. And I was like fashion director, costume director for the for Black Girls Rock, for the NAACP Awards. And that was the thing about people. You say, oh well, I was fine with not getting that higher rate because I went in, I had all my benefits, I had and it's crazy. People are like, well, that's old. Yeah, I gotta think like an old person because eventually you get older. There's certain shit you need in your life and everything. So, but it was great because it was like, okay, it's Black Girls Rock. It's the NAACP Awards. It's the BET Awards. It's Hip Hop Awards. It's all of this stuff that I'm doing that I don't have to be hired separately because I'm already at BET. And Tex, this is coming up, so this is what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? So as much crap as we talk about BET, there are definitely benefits. That's like, me working for Puffy. I tell people all the time, you gotta go in 6-month increments. Like I can't speak for how he is now because I haven't worked for him in eons, but you have an opportunity to work for Puffy, you take that damn job and you go work for him. You do it 6 months here, okay, I got to do that 6. 6 months here, I got to do that 6. Now you got a year under your belt. So now when you do your resume and you say you work for this man, people remember. I haven't worked for him in so long, but you know how many people know, oh, Texanna, she used to work for Puff. She used to run Puff's office. Now my weird name probably helps, but still, you get so much experience experience. And that's why I tell people, like, you take advantage of that. Like, you got to take advantage. Somebody says they're crazy. Okay, who cares?
The
We're all
exposure
crazy.
too, right?
Exactly.
The connections that you make.
Exactly. The exposure, the connections, all of that. You know, I think these days a lot of people the younger kids are so quick to get in and get out real quick. And sometimes you got to look at where you are and take advantage of it. And look at where you are and where you want to be and take advantage. I am tearing your mic up.
That's all right.
You know, and where you want to be, you know.
You know, it's funny, like kids nowadays, they probably go work for Puff and ask for like $200K right out of college.
Right.
And not even think about like what type of experience or exposure you're going to get working for the man. It's short-sighted. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's short-sighted. You know, it's like the same thing. You know, I work for Damon Dash. You know, I went into him as a temp for like a day or two. And he wanted to hire me. So I worked for him, you know, when he and Jay were breaking up. You know, so I worked for Puffy, for Wyclef and Damon. It's three different crazies, you know what I mean? And I mean that in a good way, you know, because it's three different worlds. You know, I came from barefoot and sunshine with Wyclef to then I had to adjust myself to this corporate world with Puffy. We're going to an office every day and everything else. And then, you know, with Damon, it's like I'm dealing with what he and Jay are going through with them breaking up. And so that's a whole different thing because then I'm in this building and I'm breaking the office down and other people are coming in saying, well, what's going on here? And I'm like, well, you got to talk to Damon because Damon is my boss. He told me to do something. So I need to, you know, so it's like everybody, it was different stuff with all three.
Was that hard to go through? Like when they was going through the breakup, like how was that? How was it to deal with that? Because you was like firsthand. You was like,
it was hard to deal with because I knew Jay before I knew Damon, and I remember sitting like the way the office was set up. You would come up the steps, and it was like around, on a ship, a round window, and I remember sitting there, and Jay comes up the steps, and I look up, and I'm like, hey, and he's like, hey, and he walks in. And he walks back. He's like, who you working for? And I was like, Damon. He was like, oh. He leaves. Comes back. He said, who? And I was like, oh, damn, here we go. Because you know what? My thing was, I'm here to work. I work for Damon. And I'm here to get my job done. And I can't get involved with what you guys have going on. You know what I mean? And Jay and I are cool. Like, it wasn't that serious. That was so long ago. It wasn't that serious. But I think it was just a thing of, what you doing here? You know? But this is what I do. And I tell people all the time, I can dress you. I can dress the hell out of you, but I can run the fuck out of your office too. You know?
Office manager.
Yeah, I can listen. I can run your business. That's what we need to do. And you need to and you know, that's like it is with Carl. Like I run his stuff, but I dress him too, you know? If there's giant stuff going on, you know, I'll style something for that. And you know, and that's a great thing about I get to do both things that I love. Because I love running people's lives in their offices and I like doing that, but I also like fashion and all that stuff.
So when y'all did the Super Bowl stuff, that's you orchestrated all of that, or?
Yes. So with the Super Bowl stuff with the BMX, that whole year, that was
that was dope.
That was so dope. That
jacket that came out.
Yeah, the
with
blue.
the rhinestones and stuff going on in the back of it. Yeah, I got one of those.
Yeah.
Do you the blue or the black?
The blue.
Okay.
Like it has like royal blue or some funny kind of blue on it.
Brian Bagley.
And then the inside of the jacket has design on it.
Amazing, right?
Yeah, I was like, this I don't even want to wear it because it looks like a work of art.
Yeah, that jacket was good. Yeah. This guy, Brian Bagley, he was the artist for that, actually that whole collection. That was MSX by Michael Strahan with Starter. Yeah, yep. That was a collab with Starter. So it was like the blue jacket, the black jacket, a hoodie, actually a blue and a black hoodie. Really.
What do you think about, and this is one actually, because you were like knee deep in that fashion stuff. What do you think about all these collaborations and stuff? Because I always ask all the fashion people that I deal with, like,
you know what? I'm cool with them if they make sense. Like it needs to make sense. Like every time I hear collabs, I'm always think back to like Bill Blass. Remember, like with the car and Perry Ellis and everything, where it was a big deal then. You know, it's like. I have people come to me and, you know, and it's terrible because I have this reputation for saying no. And I really shouldn't.
Hey, if it don't work,
I really shouldn't. It's terrible because I really shouldn't have that reputation for saying no. And it's not that. But if you're coming to me to do a collab, let's make it make sense. All I need you to do is have it make sense before you come to me. That's all. And the thing, it could be one sheet: who, what, where, when, and why. That's it. Really simple. I don't need a deck. I don't need a bunch of stuff, but just where does starter fit in? Like, do you want starter just because it's starter, or does the story make sense? And that's always my thing, is that, oh yeah, listen, it would be dope, but why? Like, it could be dope and it could make sense. Like, I could have something that could be dope, but is it going to sell?
Right.
And that's the thing about it. Like, it's great to do collabs, because it's from the heart and, you love, but it needs to make money sometimes too, you know?
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. So that's always my thing, is that just make it make sense. That's all. And if you listen, I may be like, well, I don't think that's going to work. And then you come back to me and, oh, okay, let's rock. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, because there's so many collaborations out there. And it's like every week somebody's collaborating with somebody. But I will say, I noticed with Starter, y'all don't do too many collaborations. I mean, y'all did, like, it's like hearing, it's like sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Like, y'all do one here, and then you do one there.
Like, we did a couple of things with Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
We did something with Bud. But a lot of stuff comes from, that may come from, Iconics from the other side.
the Bud Bowl was iconic. That was, you remember the Bud Bowl? They did a whole line for that. That was pretty cool.
They were actually two.
Yeah.
Yep, they were two. There was one that was because last year was Starter's 50th anniversary. So we did one. It was weird. They did one in conjunction with Budweiser, which it was a dope collection. Personally, I thought it was too much red. I think sometimes that's what happens, is that people don't always pay attention to what's going on outside. So when you do these collections, and listen, I'm not going to sit here and act like gang culture doesn't exist, because it does. That's just the reality of things. And so when you're
really does.
Yeah. So when you're doing these collections and it's all of this red or it's all of this blue, it's not going to translate well, because you have that neighborhood that is all blue, or that is the store is in an all red neighborhood. You know what I mean? So it's hard, but it's not hard. Sometimes you have to just say,
you have to have some cultural awareness, right?
Yeah, that's definitely, because you got to realize that you putting this stuff out here, who's going to consume it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's a good point. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these companies don't see that.
No.
They just bring it out.
Yeah.
Right.
And be like, oh, what
and then when it gets adopted by someone they don't like, they're like, well, how the hell did this happen?
Exactly. Because who was it? Not during the wintertime? Somebody did, was it a pajama set? A set in the bandana. Oh my God, I'm going to remember who it was. And it was it was one of these, it was a mass merchandiser. Did something in the bandana, in the red and blue bandana colors. Like, one was red, one was blue. I remember it was a big company too. And I'm going to remember who it was, because they were like, did you guys think about this before you did this? And it was clearly the bandana, clearly.
Even Supreme brought out some bandana stuff recently, but the way they did it,
it seems like Supreme gets away with a lot more when it comes to that.
Baby.
They get away with a lot more when it comes to that
Supreme
whole...
is king.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can do whatever.
Yeah.
They come out with stuff for one week, and then next week is something else.
They're tied so much to streetwear and
skateboard culture.
Right.
Yeah,
they say.
It's much more different than a brand like Starter or something. Else.
No, Starter has more history behind it than Supreme.
No, that's why I think the Coca-Cola collabs, and it makes sense, because it's like an all-American brand that's been established for decades now.
And the stuff you'll do with Ty Hopkins, pretty awesome.
Yeah, Ty.
That's where I got my Nets jacket from Tex.
Oh,
I wore it on the show like a year ago now. But
yeah.
Ty, he's got some good stuff coming out for Christmas too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I know he just brought out. It's like a silver. It was like a silver Yankee jacket. I think that's for this year.
Yeah,
Black
coming out
History
for fall.
Month.
Yeah.
And he did the last one. It was the red and green. All the NBA teams had the jacket.
See, and I preferred the first collection, the first Black History Month collection, better.
Yeah.
You know what? I think because this jacket, the 6th one, has a zipper. I'm not a big zipper person. Like, I feel like I like the snaps, the traditional snap.
Yeah.
And
everybody
stuff.
loves that jacket.
Yeah,
like,
but
where'd you get that from?
Everybody loves those. The Black History Month. Oh my God, everybody loves those. You know which ones were dope too? Did you guys ever see the NBA ones that we did? The olive green green body, and then the pink body. There was a teal body.
Oh, I think I remember
That one was dope, too.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did like a pale pink. We did those in a bunch of different colors.
yeah. So are you the one like doing like the color selection? Because you be hitting if it's
No,
you.
that's the designers. You know what? That's the
Jeez
designers.
Louise.
But we've got these two new designers, Nicole and Stanley, who are so dope.
Yeah, because I mean they hitting
dope.
on the colors like these last couple jackets.
Yeah, they
home
are.
run.
Shout out to Nicole and Stanley.
You know what I'm
Shout out
saying?
to Nicole and Stanley. They got some stuff coming. And then Sona, another girl named Sona, she's dope too.
Yeah,
she's
man.
real dope too.
Shout out to them peoples, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I mean I love to see that when people are bringing out like subtle colors, like colors that you don't usually see.
Yeah.
Instead of you always see red, you always see black. But they coming out with the different greens and different blues. You're like, okay.
Well, you know, that's the funny thing about it is because, like, when Ty Mopkins was in town, that's what we were talking about. Like, because, you know, we do the team stuff. So we have the samples. And he's like, yo, we need to do different teams, not just the same teams all the
Right.
time. Let's see some other teams other than, you know, not just the Vikings, not just, okay, you want to do purple? Let's do the Lakers. Like, let's see some other stuff. So that's why they really started doing samples in other colors as well.
Yeah,
Because, you know, sometimes you need that you need an eye from outside to come in and look for a minute.
Get a different perspective.
Yeah, that's it. Let me see. This new view is like messing my conception up.
I'm digging the couch,
I'm like,
bro.
you digging the couch?
I'm digging the couch.
Don't
yeah.
fall asleep over there.
Nah, it feels like I'm on Oprah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, tell us your story, please. Why are you mad?
Word.
No, we're not gonna start that.
No.
Tell them why you mad.
Yeah, exactly. Tell them why
mad.
you mad. Let's go.
No, I'm actually
Throw
not
some
mad
complaints on
today.
here.
I'm not mad today.
Nah,
I'm good today. Yeah, today I'm good.
Yeah, this is all about you.
Yeah, I try. You know what? That's the thing. It's like, I'm like, Usa. Like, some things you just can't change. It is what it is. Like, I can't waste my energy being pissed off.
Yeah, you
about
just go with the
some
flow.
shit that I can't change. Like,
Yeah, just
That
go.
serenity prayer,
yeah,
right?
you
Like,
have to, man. You have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything that's going on, you will just be so, all the time.
well, yeah, I mean, it's hard, especially nowadays with society the way it is right now.
And COVID.
Yeah.
It really does feel like it feels like we're headed towards a very dark place in America.
You think so?
I really do, man. I really
See,
do.
I'm trying not to think like that. I do. I'm trying.
I'm a realist. I'm also a little bit of a nihilist, so I'm not gonna.
Well, listen, once that Roe versus Wade stuff went off,
Yeah,
that was pretty depressing.
yeah, but you know,
It's like my mother said. It's done. Now we got to figure. Like, we can't keep protesting something that's done. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
you got to figure out the next step.
What's the
but
next
it's
step?
done. They're not gonna flip it back. So
it's long. The ramifications behind that are pretty severe because you have 6 Supreme Court justices that are pushing a right-wing agenda, a far right wing.
far, yes.
It's not, and that's the
Yeah,
problem with this
yeah.
country, man. It's like everybody's rooting for laundry right now.
Yeah.
You're either far left or you're far right.
Exactly.
Nobody's like thinking
In the middle.
in the middle anymore. And some of the things that they have up their sleeves right now, I just fear. I have a really deep fear for the future of this country, man.
Yeah, it just depresses me when these people just think they can control what a woman does with their body.
It's absurd. It's absurd.
Just to think that someone can just say you can't do A, B, C, or D, whatever, and it's not even your body. Like,
But and it's so funny.
it makes no sense.
Right, and I just saw something. They were like, "Oh, with the formula shortage, they're telling women to breastfeed more, but you're telling us we can't get abortions, we can't do anything."
The hypocrisy of it is.
Like, really?
And
It's crazy.
And that's why religion needs to be separated from governance, you know? Because this is all stemming from far-right Christian beliefs that are seeping its way into our policies and laws. And
And Clarence Thomas
needs
has
to-
no idea that the next thing coming is interracial marriage.
yeah. Well, he won't allow that because
Because his
Right,
wife is
right.
white.
But
Yeah,
it's,
it
it's
affects
like,
him.
dude, really? Like, really?
But they said he's trying to go after the gay marriage and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
that's next.
Yeah, that's next.
That's
Gay marriage
crazy.
is next. Marijuana legalization, all of that is on the table right now.
Well,
Can't
that's
even-
a joke in itself. That whole marijuana legalization. That's just a joke in itself.
Yeah.
We're going to take care of the ones who are locked up. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Yeah, I think they're
Charging
going
$1
to
million
criminalize it again.
and all this other nonsense. I'm like, really? I'll continue to smoke my weed in my house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll sit on the park bench. I can't, like, you know what? That's always the thing with me with this whole weed thing. I'm like, I don't care about that. Because you know what? If you're going to smoke, you're going to smoke, whether it's legal or illegal. You're going to smoke.
But you see, the media's trying to blame the shooting that happened on July 4th. They're trying to pin it on weed. There was like this kid's on, on his social media smoking weed all day. It creates psychosis. Like,
Please.
That I'm telling you, that's where they're gonna do everything they can to blame mass shootings on everything but guns.
Yeah,
they're trying to push a narrative.
They are. They really are.
But it's their narrative. And that's a whole nother thing. They just want everybody to just kill each other, shoot all these guns and stuff.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening every week now. There's a mass shooting.
Every single.
And listen, I'm a gun owner. I believe in responsible gun ownership. If you were to tell me you give up your guns and nobody would have guns, I would gladly do it. But the way things are in this country, we're going to have more guns on the street, especially when they overturned the laws in New York and New Jersey where people can carry now. It's going to turn into the Wild Wild West.
It's going to be the OK Corral.
Yeah.
Like, what you holding?
Exactly. It's about to turn into the Wild Wild West out here.
Sheesh.
It's crazy because, like, when I travel back and forth to the office, I'm always like, okay, let's have two evils: bus, train. The Uber's in there sometime, but it's like bus, train because it's always something on. And then I'm like, okay, let me take the bus. Look up, lady walking back and forth begging like she's on the train. I'm like, oh,
we've become desensitized.
We have.
And that's,
you see it all the time. It's like everywhere you go, somebody needs something.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, I don't got it today. I'm sorry. You hit me 3 out of the 4 days. I'm tapped out.
Man. Yeah.
But real random, I was walking down the street and I ran into Bill de Blasio.
Oh, I saw the picture on your
right?
IG.
Yeah, he was like literally on the corner.
Really?
Talking. And then he was like, hey, are you a Democrat?
He's trying to run for re-election.
I don't know what he's doing, but he took my my name and my email and my address.
Oh, you're going to start getting the emails.
So,
the solicitation.
You know what I'm saying? It was just so funny. I was like, I knew this dude lived over in Park Slope, but I never I've seen him a couple times, but he was like extra yesterday. Like, hey, come here, what's your name?
It's crazy. I don't align myself with a political party because Chris Rock said this like 20 years ago. It's so true, though. I want to hear the facts of a problem before I come to a judgment about it, right? I don't want, because I'm Democrat, I have to lean this way, or because I'm Republican, I have to lean this way. I'm independent because I want to hear the issue first and then what the resolution is, and not just have to take a side because I'm affiliated with this or that, you know? That's kind of how I'm with. And, I think there's a lot of bullshit on the Republican side. There's a lot of bullshit on the Democrat side, too. And you have to just think for yourself. I've been an independent thinker my whole life.
It's like a lesser two evils. Which poison you want to
Yeah, there is a lesser of two evils,
what I'm saying?
definitely.
That nobody's really innocent. Everybody does do a little bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just which one you deal with.
Which one you which one? It's like a relationship. Just depends. Everybody got this shit.
Everybody got their shit. Right?
Everybody got this shit. Just depends on whose shit you want to put up with. You know.
Preach.
Oh yeah.
Yo, let's hey Jay, get the book so we can break out. We can show some of Texanna's work.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? She got some iconic covers we need to show. You put them in. Oh, that's the Super P podcast.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you gotta show off the bag.
That's the bag, y'all.
The Super P bag.
She has the very first one.
Yes.
Amazing.
We'll be on the site, $30. Go get your bag. Get your merch. Yeah. And I saw a couple of these. These pictures. Oh. Okay. I'm saying so.
Oh yeah, that was.
Hey Jay, I think you're by the camera, so I guess.
You want me to?
Is he closer to the camera or I am? Him? Okay.
Yeah. Let me flip through these.
I'll let you do it. It's a heavy buck too. You know what I'm saying?
No, you need strong muscles.
You got the muscles.
Okay, so we got the Essence cover with Denzel.
Yes, Denzel Washington. That was that's so funny because Pamela Macklin, who was the fashion director at Essence magazine at the time, who hired me, I just ran into her. This was, oh my God, what year was that? 2002.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I just ran into her on the.
I've heard nothing but nice things about Denzel.
Denzel is such a nice guy. He is very like, okay, you have an hour to interview, you have 2 hours to shoot, you have an hour for this, and he's like, okay, gotta go.
He's a professional.
Yes, very professional.
That's
And
what's
when
up.
he was done, he was like, nice to meet you guys, and he left.
He out.
He's out.
Okay.
Jay, angle it up a little bit.
Up. Oh, there we go. Okay.
So this was a cover that. This was a collaborative effort. This was myself, Patrick Cooper, and remember Farnsworth Bentley?
Yeah, Farnsworth.
Yeah, and Farnsworth. Yeah, we all worked on this together.
How's Farnsworth? He was an interesting character.
I don't know his wife's name, but he's married to an actress. I think they have 2 children. But he super smart guy. He is in Atlanta.
Okay.
And I think, you know what's so funny? I feel like he's doing music. He's dabbling in music a little bit. Because I spoke to someone the other day who mentioned he was doing something
He
with
seems
music.
like a very well-rounded person.
He is.
Yeah, he's
He is.
multi-talented.
Yeah, great
Now, I
guy.
want to talk about this cover right here.
Ooh. This cover right here was, you know, when Bet Puff got all these guys together. This was, you see the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a funny
Wow,
shoot.
what year is this? This was September 2001.
Yeah.
So the issue right before 9/11.
Right before 9/11.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is wow
Bananas.
with the World Trade
Yeah,
Center.
right
there.
before
Oh
9/11.
wow. Unbelievable.
This is me, Mike B. I don't know. I'm not sure if Groovy Lou was with us on this shoot, and a stylist named Quasi who assisted Mike B. I try to give, you know what it is? I try to give like assistants and stylists who I work with and everything. I like to give them love when I can. My memory is horrible, so I always say blame it on my head, not my heart. So I try to as much as I can.
Hold on, I remember this. You did this?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, you know,
that's
was
such an
the
iconic look.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Puff always he always had a crew of stylists. And, you know, it was like, you know, it could be like me, Mike B, and Groovy there at one time. Then I may be gone. Then it may be, you know, Atiba Newsome, you know, Eric Archibald, Roger McKenzie, June Ambrose, me. So, like, we all have been in Puffy's world together or separately at some point or another.
That special delivery
Yes.
era Puff.
Yes.
I remember with the Charles Woodson
Yeah.
Raider jerseys, they was rocking those
Oh my
hard.
goodness, yes, all
Oh
the
my
jersey pictures,
God.
right? Puffy easily had to have almost 250 jerseys. We used to keep them all on the rolling racks in this one room in his house on Park Avenue.
So we
that
got
was-
Sean John Boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
All these boys are all grown men now.
Yeah, no. Wow. Okay, now we got to talk about this.
The band.
Yeah. Well, no, Rolling
Oh,
Stone.
this was a good one. You see, Head State. Yeah, this was Master P, Wyclef, and Jay. At the time, Wyclef was the hottest artist. He was the hottest artist out of
Yeah.
all of them. So, hence, that's why this is, you know.
Top 50. And then tell me your experience with the band. Because I think they were in the news lately. One of them
Yeah.
was.
I forgot
Was it
his name.
Ness?
No, it wasn't Ness. It was the other one. I forgot his name. Without the shirt on, he was in because he was a little upset with Puff.
Yeah.
Didn't feel he got his due and everything. I'm not sure. You know, my thing was I was there creatively to get them dressed, and me, Mike, and all of us to
Stay
make them
away
look
from the
good, and you
politics.
stay away from the politics.
Yeah,
but they were all nice. You know, they were all nice kids. They were new. You know, they were excited about what was going on. You know.
And then we got this cover.
Oh, this was like so significant for me because they didn't want to give me credit.
Really?
They did not want to give me credit. Because the photographer at the time, he had a stylist there, so it was 2 stylists.
Oh.
And yeah, so they were like, well, your name will be second. I said, I don't care if my name is on the outside underneath. I should get credit.
Yeah.
So the funny thing about it was such a battle, but Praz fought for me to make sure I got my credit. The crazy thing about it is when it came out, every single piece was my pull. So now if I had let that slide, his name would have been on there on my cover.
I see.
And I remember having a little battle one time with a publicist because they couldn't understand why I went to Praz and was in complaint because I didn't get credit in a magazine. And I had to explain to them, like, that's important to a stylist.
Of course.
Like, you wanted to get your credit when you first started that you placed this article, so you don't think I'd want to get that too?
Absolutely.
And, that was my thing. I was like, if I didn't fight for that, but that cover would have came out without my name on it, but every single piece of clothing they had on was mine. Because they kind of did it where it was like, okay, let's do this urban look and let's do this high-end look.
Right,
and the high-end look was his stuff. The urban look was my stuff. So I'm like, no, I needed to fight for that because nobody else was going to fight for me.
Yeah.
Oh, this was good. We did this in London.
The Dada hat.
Yes.
Oh, my
Yes.
God. It was a funny story. I actually text Pirate. What was it?
Oh,
like
yeah. You're looking for that stuff.
4 or 5 months ago. I couldn't remember who made these hats.
Oh, Dada, Dwayne, and what was the other dude's name? Oh my God, I can't remember his partner, but it was Dwayne.
These are
Dada,
unbelievable.
right? Oh my God.
I remember seeing them on Flatbush Ave. Oh man.
Dada,
But this
and
is a
Lauren
dope
was
cover.
pregnant in this picture.
She was. Okay.
Yeah, yep. And Celia, that was a good shoot too. She was so nice.
Amazing.
Celia Cruz.
Oh, this is awesome. Oh, okay. Wow.
You remember that?
This
little
is
black
taking
dude?
me
Yeah.
back. Wow. Unbelievable. It's dope.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ah,
See, you got your little what you call it when you go back? What you call it?
what was that?
What
Reminisce.
you call it? Yeah, he was reminiscing.
Oh
over
yeah,
there.
nostalgia.
Wow, yo,
Because the
yo,
industry was
wow.
so different then.
Like yeah, this was when I was like super into hip hop media and like I used to like religiously wait for the Source and Double XL to come out and just like absorb it.
Let me show you something else. One last thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm really
Let me
going.
see what you got.
I'm
You
really
got a goodie
gonna
in
get
there
you.
for
Yeah, I
me?
got a goodie in here for you. Well, see Nate Dogg.
You
Okay.
got the treats.
Oh, where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? BG.
Oh,
We worked with BG too.
that is dope. That's an ill Nate Dogg
Nate, yeah.
photo.
You know what's so funny? I'm trying to find the picture of him, because he had this outfit that was all denim and his Timbs were covered in denim.
Oh,
This
he had
was-
the denim
He had
Timbs
the
on?
denim Timbs on, yeah.
That's a very
He had the denim Timbs on
distinct
too.
look.
He
I
had the
used to
hat.
love denim.
He had the
It was
bowler.
yeah.
Remember the
the
bowler?
bowler hats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was in here. Yes, he had the bowler hat too. Everything was covered in this hard denim.
There was like a good 4 or 5 year stretch where all I rocked was a denim jacket. Like I love denim.
Yeah, the denim Levi suits and the denim Lee suit.
Those were the days.
And those were
Denim,
the days.
denim outfits, denim everything.
Yes, denim
Word.
everything.
So Tex, just to kind of wrap this up. So what's new with Starter? Like, what can we expect in like the next quarter or next?
We've got some good collabs coming out. Of course, the sports stuff always looks amazing. Next year is hip hop 50th anniversary, so I'm trying to get some stuff.
Yeah, well,
going
actually,
with that.
I'm gonna talk to you about that because
Okay.
me, the artist I manage, we actually doing something. We're doing something with that too.
So we need to talk.
Because he does miniatures, so we're doing it for like, I'll tell you the artists off air, but
Okay.
3 of the major artists we're doing like miniatures for them.
Oh, dope.
So I guess we probably are queued in with the same people, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, and of course we've got this huge HBCU program, and they've got a big game, Howard versus Morehouse, in September at MetLife. So we've got a whole HBCU collection. We've actually had one for a while. It just wasn't really pushed like it should have been, but we've had some stuff for a while. And it's so funny, you see Polo. Everybody else is has got all this stuff now, but yeah, ours looks really good too.
Yeah, they just got a Morehouse line.
Yeah. Oh, they just did Morehouse. That's it.
I only saw Morehouse.
Okay.
He's the Polo guy now.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm the retired Polo guy.
I only saw Morehouse too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw they wanted $800 for like a bear sweater.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to
that
go
was a
check
little
it out.
OD.
Okay.
Yeah, they can keep that.
Okay, I need to go check it out.
Yeah.
I don't like this. You turning on Polo, man.
I'm not. I'm just more like frugal in my old age.
Interesting.
You know?
Yeah. No, I could understand that.
Well, I'm gonna pay. Listen, and you'll agree with me. Well, I'm gonna pay $800 for a knitted sweater I'm gonna wear 2 times. When I use that $800, split it, probably invest it in something or put it in something that I can save.
Oh no,
or put
I'm
it
with
to
you
something
there,
that
'cause
I
I got
can,
a lot of regrets. With that.
or put it to something where I can use later on.
Do you have a good collection?
I have a pretty.
He has a phenomenal collection.
Okay.
Thank you. Coming from you, that means a lot.
Yes. No, you have. Listen.
It's minuscule compared to yours.
You be coming
but
through. See, the only reason why I think I have more than you is because I started earlier than you.
You did start earlier, yeah.
So that's why I think I have more. I think if
Yeah.
you started when I started, you probably have more because you're a polo maniac.
Yeah. I have slowed down. You know what? Since 2020, since the pandemic started, I've reevaluated just a lot of things as it relates to my life, including fashion and where I put my money. Especially, I just bought a house last year.
Okay.
I put so much money into remodeling and things like that, and then really getting into investing. And
Yeah, I just don't think it's worth it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, I haven't really bought it. I used to buy sneakers like every other week. Now I probably bought 2 pairs in the last 18 months.
Yeah, see, I think everything just kind of shifts sometimes, responsibilities. For most of us,
Right.
it
Yeah.
shifts.
And it's not like I can't do it.
Right.
I don't have the desire to do it.
Right.
So you got to get a hookup like some people I know.
You see,
Get a hookup. I ain't worrying about sneakers.
I miss the days of camping out overnight for a pair of Galaxy phones.
Man,
That's what I miss.
I never did that.
I just
You had a
walked
sense
past
of
some
community.
store. Yeah, I walked past some store and they were all sitting there. I wanted to ask them. I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm not even going to ask what they're looking for. I don't even care at this point.
Yeah.
I think my grandson did his first sit. And I was like, oh, how'd you like that? He was like, it was cool. I was like, yeah, that's because you're 15.
Exactly.
That's because you're 15. You don't know any better yet.
He don't know. Let him get a couple more years in.
Right.
He'd be like, I ain't doing that.
And it was kind of warm outside. He hasn't done the winter sit out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he hasn't done the
yeah.
winter one yet. So.
He got something to look forward to.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
He probably will never do it again.
Right.
Nope.
Exactly.
Like negative 22 hours? Nah, I'm good.
Nah,
Right.
son.
I'm good.
Too old for that now.
So is there any like I would say like type of areas that we don't know that they're trying to get into? Like, is there any part of the spectrum? Because I know Starter, pretty much Starter has everything. It's into everything: hats, clothes.
Yeah, yeah, I did like the latest thing is like the whole, I'm trying to get them to do more BMX stuff. Because the thing about it is it's not even just BMX, it is biking. Like everybody's riding a
I
bike.
think Starter should get into skateboarding too.
Yeah, that too, that whole that whole
That's a good
extreme
lane.
sports, exactly. The BMX and the
Yeah.
skateboarding, because that's what this city is now. Most cities
Yeah.
are. It's biking
They will go
and
crazy for a
skateboarding and
skateboard that had
and
the
all
big
that.
S, the Starter sign.
Right.
on it.
Yep.
Crazy. They buy that hand over fist.
right. Yeah, so I've got a bunch of decks in my house. I have
Oh,
one
see?
from Cool Keith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a good one from Cool Keith.
Yeah, I met him a couple. He's crazy.
He is. I love him. I love
Yo,
him because
he's
he's
crazy.
so himself. He will
He's
send
cool.
me these pictures
Yeah, he's cool.
with the freaking satin on, and he'll have a freaking babushka on. And I'm like, yo, I freaking love
Yeah,
him.
he's cool. I was chilling with him I went to South by Southwest because I used to manage artists, and we were chilling with Cool Keith and stuff. He's cool, bro.
Yeah, he is.
He's just like he's out there though.
He's out there,
Like,
yeah.
He
He'll
is.
be talking
he
about
is.
this and then talking about chicken wings the other day. I'm like,
Right.
yo, it's wild.
I love people like that. Though,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he's just off the
like-
cuff. But
Exactly.
But he's cool. You know what I'm saying?
But because he's the guy that like he'll be someplace and it'll be warm out, and I've sent him a jacket that's heavier, and he'll still have the jacket on, performing in the jacket and everything. I'm like, he doesn't give a damn about seasons, whether it's lined or unlined.
Yeah.
He's just like, it's dope. I'm gonna wear it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like we did the NFT stuff. But I'm not really aware of,
So,
like that.
so it started getting into the NFT stuff, or y'all just kind of dibbling dabbling?
I think that was kind of a dibble, but they've been talking to us about doing like some lines because they've got some collections they're doing with Ice Cube, Queen Latifah. Hip Hop Archive is doing a couple of collections. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping that we can make that work. So like I said, because I did jackets and towels and, a couple of other things for them just so that they would have it while they were in town.
Yeah, because I know some companies, what they're doing is that like with the NFTs, they're making like, maybe like for 24 hours only, you can get the jacket and the NFT. And then you purchase the NFT, and then you get like a certain amount off of like the actual jacket.
Yeah, that's what they've been talking to us about. That.
That's
then,
what they've been doing.
Boondocks with DJ Poe. I kind of had a brief conversation with him about that. So it's like funny. People are like, "Are you the plug for Star?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm not.
I see.
I'm not the plug."
You talking about the Boondocks line? They had the,
yeah, they have
had
some
a
stuff.
line.
Yes.
Because I saw that Comic-Con last year. They had a whole table.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna.
We don't know.
Talking.
Yeah, we're not sure. I would love to do that,
dude.
I would love
a
to
Boondock starter jacket, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Sign me up for that. Because if you see their merch, I have actually a video of their merch from Comic-Con. And I'll send it to you. I'll show you. But the merch is it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I would love to do
Boondock
something
merch.
with them.
So a Boondock starter collaboration.
I can
call
see it.
that from the earth. Let's go now.
Right? I could see that too. I hope.
Yeah.
And then somebody talked to me about polo, horses, polo.
Oh, Ralph Lauren polo or the other polo?
The other polo.
That he doesn't.
The other polo.
That he
The
doesn't
horses,
like.
the horse polo.
Oh, she means the one you don't like.
What, U.S. Polo Association?
Oh no, not you. No.
Look at his
I'm not
eyes.
sure if the girl works for Ralph Lauren, but it was somebody was having a conversation with me, and they've got this connection. They're like, "Would you guys ever do like polo?" And I was like, and that's what I said, Ralph Lauren polo. They were like, the horse, the sports, the horse. I was like,
oh, like sponsoring polo players?
Yeah, doing jackets and stuff like that. I was like, that could be
That'd be something.
interesting. Yeah, that could be
That'd be something.
cool.
I can see that. But this stuff is like really preppy. Like,
yeah. And I feel like that's going to be a whole other realm of things because of the fact that that's like that super wealthy luxury client that you can't just have just a basic set. You know what I mean? I feel like you have to go a little bit.
that's what I'm saying.
That's a little bit more.
Is that what Startup Black Label is? Is that like the high end part of it?
Yes. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, no, I'm just trying to, because I know, it's a regular starter line, but then it's Startup Black Label.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure what's going on. Like, there's Starter Black Label and there's Starter, and I know we're trying to get off Amazon, and it's.
You should.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. It has nothing. It's completely separate from us. Completely separate. Like if I wanted to I have to pay for it.
Yeah,
completely
but
separate.
my thing with the Amazon thing is I always thought that starter should be separate anyway.
it
Because all you're
should have never
doing is
been
you're
on
paying
there.
somebody to have your stuff on there.
Right. It should have
Cut
never
the
been on
middleman
there.
out and just
Right.
get a Shopify and put it all on there.
Yeah.
And then everything goes to you.
Right.
Yep.
Just saying. I always thought that too, and I said, that stuff is on Amazon. Like, they want to pay them.
And that's the thing. None of anything that's on there we don't have. I can't access. So it was always like, okay, well, makes sense to somebody.
Listen, I'm pretty sure y'all call to figure that out.
Yeah.
Eventually it'll,
Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way, as they say.
Exactly.
So, Jay, what's your stock tip? Be careful. You're treading on thin ice.
I know.
The guns are out, as
Let
you
me
could
cook
say.
for a minute.
You know what I'm saying? The guns are out, buddy.
All right. So this segment is brought to you by Jay Wall Street. As always, this is not financial advice, so please don't sue me. But it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the market's just tanked, and
Trash.
it's going to get worse.
Caca, basura.
It's going to get worse. I don't think people realize how bad it is going to get about another 6 months to a year from now. So all the indicators are pointing towards almost exactly what it looked like right before the 2008 recession. And we have not even hit that yet. We're not even close. We're coming down off of all-time highs right now. So my larger macro advice, get out of the stock market. If you can, pull your 401k out, put it in other investment opportunities. When the market crashes for real estate, might be some great opportunities there. But short term, over the next 6 to 10, 12 months, cash is going to be king. Because you want that liquidity for when we do hit bottom, that you could buy at the bottom. You don't want that money tied up in investments that are losing.
Yeah, stuff that's tanking.
Correct. But my short-term tip, Twitter.
Oh,
so
because Elon bought it?
Elon on Friday pulled out.
Yeah, that's
he
he pulled out. Yeah.
So he pulled out on Friday.
Okay.
And if you look at the initial reaction from the market, Tesla shares went up because Tesla shareholders are like, great, Elon's trying to get out of this. He's not putting us at risk anymore. And then Twitter shares nosedive. But you got to think like chess. You got to think a couple of moves ahead, right? Twitter, Elon can't get out of this deal. That's the problem. And Elon's probably the dumbest smart person that ever walked the face of this earth because he just acts very emotionally with his money. And what he did with Twitter was such an impulse buy. It was stupid. He offered them almost double what the share price was when he had no competition. Anyway, that agreement that they signed was airtight. Twitter's lawyers are not stupid. They realized that he's trying to do a hostile takeover after they offered him a board seat. And he was like, well, if he was dumb enough to make that offer, we're going to make sure he commits to it. Now they're going to go before a judge in Delaware to litigate this. And it's going to take a little while. But I have a strong feeling Elon's going to wind up paying billions and billions of dollars to Twitter shareholders long term. Short term, Twitter's going to tank. I'm looking at Twitter in the teens, high teens, and I'm going to jump on it. And then I'm going to hold it for another year or two because I guarantee, not guarantee, I'm not guaranteeing nothing. But I have a very, very strong feeling that at the end of the day, when dust settles with all of this, Tesla shares are going to tank because he's going to need to sell a shit ton of them.
Yeah, to pay.
For that $44-48 billion price tag that he has to cough up for Twitter.
But isn't he worth $60 billion, something like that?
He was worth over $100 billion before the market tanked. And this is why he's trying to pull out. He agreed to this deal when the market was at an all-time high. And he was worth $120 billion. Tesla was at $1,200 a share, and now it's trading at $7. So he lost a pretty significant chunk of his net worth.
Right.
And now he's committed to this $40-something billion deal with Tesla. And he's like, I can't afford it. If he wanted to pursue this deal with Twitter, he would have to sell almost all his, not all, but a good portion of his Tesla stock. So, short term, wait for Twitter to tank, grab Twitter. And then if you know how to short a stock, I would short Tesla. Absolutely short Tesla. Because once it settles and he has to dump all of those shares on the market, Tesla's going to go from 700 to 3.
Sheesh.
That's my prediction. Don't quote me. Don't sue me if Tesla goes to 3,000 a share.
You guys know what he look like. You can see him on the street. Be yo, Jay Flatbush.
Yeah.
Give me my money.
But just to give you a background, that's my rationale. That's my logic on what's going to happen with Twitter and Elon and all of that.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, well, you know, I do have one other thing.
Oh, go ahead.
And I want to talk directly to Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He was on his Nets rant.
You know, there's a lot of things I want to say,
Oh,
but I'm
my
not going to say because
gosh.
there's a lady in the room right
No,
now.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nah.
Go ahead. I'll get it. Let it out.
But you know what?
Let it out.
I think you bitch made. That's straight up. I'm going to start right there.
Jesus Christ.
The Nets have done nothing but accommodate you.
Listen, be
since
careful.
the moment you came to Brooklyn.
Be careful. This is Josh's boy.
Who? Bro, you signed up with Kyrie, who basically took advantage of you, and now you want to ask for a trade?
Oh my
we signed you when you tore your Achilles. You got a whole year of free paychecks in your first year of your contract.
Tell him why you mad, son.
Last year, during the Boston series,
Get him.
you looked old as hell. And now you want to ask for a trade?
Tell him why
Bro,
you mad, son. Get him.
you didn't make the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets was here. I was a Brooklyn Net fan before you ever even thought about show. Before you entered the league, I was a Net fan. You ain't make the Nets, and we going to send you packing, no problems. Bro, I want you to know, you always take the easy way out in your career. You did it with Golden State. You did it even coming to Brooklyn. And now you're trying to do it again because you ain't got no backbone. Get the hell out of Brooklyn,
Take
bro.
that, take
and
that.
take Kyrie with you.
Take that. Yeah.
I'm tight, bro.
I'm hype.
You should have seen how tight I was.
I'm hype. I'm about to throw the microphone. I'm hype.
Hype. Ooh. But it's all good. It's all good. Listen, we're going to rebuild.
my
We're going to get
gosh.
a ton back for him.
So funny.
And we're going to keep it moving.
So Tex, you know, you see, we're going crazy right now.
That is so good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
this
where-
is dope.
Where can they find you? Do you like if they want to contact you?
IG is at TEXW.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Facebook, but I don't really, that's family and grandma and all
right.
that. But that's Tex Watts, TEXWATTS. But IG is usually the best.
Okay. All right, cool.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
This is
you,
dope.
and you're always welcome back.
Thank you.
Nah,
And tell
Dope
Carl he
comment.
needs
Thank
to
you.
come on
you.
so we can pick his
Yes.
brain about
Yes.
fashion and football and, you know.
You let me know when your new season starts,
Oh,
and
yeah,
we'll set it up.
I mean, he can come anytime.
Okay.
We'll just start it. You know, it's going to start in like October.
Okay.
But we're going to be recording before then.
Yeah, we'll
So
put him in the can.
yeah, whenever he's ready,
Okay.
he's right, Josh.
I'll be here.
See, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Whenever he's ready,
Okay.
just tell me and
Cool.
I'll
I got
set
you.
it up. But yeah, Jay, where can he find you?
In East Orange, New Jersey.
No, see, here he goes. His bullshit.
Nah, at Jay Flatbush on Twitter, Instagram. Although I haven't really been on social media that much. I've been more on Twitter.
You've been on Twitter a little bit.
Been on Twitter a little bit lately, but Instagram not so much.
Yeah. No, I saw your workout video.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get it
I
in,
see,
bro.
boy. You trying to get to
I need that steroid hook. Who got the HGH out there?
You know
Hit me
what
up.
I'm saying? Cock
Hit
Diesel
me in the
out here.
DMs. I'm trying to get the A-Rod Florida treatment. You know what I mean?
Jesus.